Oscar? Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, back with another movie review. Guys, I am going to be giving you a barrage of movie reviews tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday afternoon, because it's the end of year. I'm trying to see a bunch of movies and then therefore get reviews out to you guys. I'd like to quickly preface this video by saying I apologize for the fact that this video will automatically be under 15 minutes long because I recently received a copyright strike. I just filmed a video summing up a whole bad thing that happened with the copyright strike with me. I got my first copyright strike. I cannot upload videos longer than 15 minutes, or I cannot do custom thumbnails, no live streaming, all that. I just filmed that video. I'd love to leave an annotation to it in this video, but I'll have to leave a link in the description. I can't do annotations either. Summing up everything and explaining everything. My channel's okay. I have one copyright strike. I'm trying to get it fixed. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm really sorry about that. So now I have to sit in front of my camera for the rest of the movie reviews that I do until this gets fixed, so I can look at the time, because I can see the time and how much has gone by, and I have to make sure I don't go over 15 minutes. So now that I've explained that, I'm going to say this much. I shot a review for The Revenant. I'm also not going to be holding up posters too much anymore, because that may be the reason why I'm getting a copyright strike. Or why I got a copyright strike from Studio Canal. But anyway, I shot a 19-minute review for The Revenant, okay? And then I shot, because I saw The Revenant and The Hateful Eight back-to-back today in the city. Hateful Eight. I shot a 21-minute review for The Revenant, okay? Then I go on YouTube to upload both the videos, and I see the copyright strike, and then I see that I can't upload videos longer than 15 minutes. So unless I edit those two long videos, which I don't like to do, because editing takes too long, I have to now refilm these videos by shooting a review under 15 minutes. So I am going to keep my thoughts for The Revenant extremely concise. I will leave a giant, probably I'll go more in depth in the description down below if you guys would like to see more in-depth thoughts. But what I'm going to do, guys, for these movie reviews, since I got to keep them quick, I'll go quickly into the premise, get into my thoughts of the movie, everything that I enjoyed and did not like about it, and then I'm going to have to cut the video off. I am so sorry that this is how it has to be, guys, until this copyright strike gets removed. I sent out messages, I submitted retractions, asked for a submitted of a retraction, counter notification. I sent one of those out. I am so sorry that this is happening, guys, but unfortunately it is, and I have to live with it. But I'm not going to stop my channel. I'm not going to let it affect my channel. So thank you, Studio Canal, for ruining it, but I'm not going to stop. So sorry. Also, real quick, before I get into my thoughts on The Revenant, I got these two Star Wars posters from the AMC theater I went to, because I went to the city to see The Revenant, because currently The Revenant is only playing in LA and New York, and it's only playing in 2 theaters in New York City, okay? So naturally, the theater was packed going in to see the movie. I was sitting nosebleed almost, like just looking up at the screen the whole time. I almost didn't get a seat. Luckily did, because The Revenant, guys, let's get into the premise and everything now, and just my thoughts on the movie. I was extremely excited to see this movie, okay? I was pumping it up. I thought I was going to go into this movie saying, it's perfect, it's flawless, it's my favorite movie of the year. I really had high expectations, because I was so amazed by the second trailer of this movie. Premise-wise, guys, The Revenant essentially focuses on a group of fur trappers, okay? And one of the men in this group, his name is Hugh Glass, and he is played by Leonardo DiCaprio, okay? And it's set somewhere, the movie's set somewhere in the 1820s, and we focus on DiCaprio, who is fur trapper, very persistent, and very, what's the word? I was thinking of another synonym for persistent. He is persistent, okay? He is also very resourceful, I would say. He has a young son, and at some points there is a severe tragedy that occurs very early on in the movie. An attack, okay? He isn't attacked by an animal. That's all I'm going to say. And as he is attacked, he's left for dead by some of the men in his group, okay? They're, at the same time, they're being pursued by a rival Indian group, and a rival English group, I believe, as well. So DiCaprio is left for dead. Everyone thinks he is dead, but he is alive, and he is out for blood and vengeance to get those who wronged him. And that, my friends, is the synopsis for The Revenant. I know, it's very vague. But if you'll watch the second trailer for this movie, you'll basically know the entire movie. Now, watching the second trailer, it's not that I regretted watching it or anything like that. I love it, okay? Looking back on it, though, it completely gives away a giant plot point. Something that really weakens DiCaprio's character, weakens his mentality, okay, and breaks him almost. Something happens, it's revealed, spoiled right in the trailer, and I think that was a shame. So do not watch the trailer if you haven't seen this movie. But The Revenant, guys, is without a doubt one of the best movies of the year. I'm so glad I drove out to the city, into the city, to go and seek out this movie and see it before I make my top 10 list, because I had a feeling it would make my top 10, and it definitely will. I loved The Revenant. I loved nearly everything about this movie. It is one of the most exciting, exhilarating, riveting experiences I have had in a movie theater all year long. I kid you not. That is how good The Revenant is. You know what? I'm going to hold the poster up because I need something for a thumbnail, right? Hopefully, it'll look good. I'm sorry, guys. So guys, this is, I loved nearly everything about The Revenant. I'll knock off the problems I had with this movie right now, just so I don't have to get into them later. If I had to complain about a couple of things with this movie, I'll say this much. At 2.5 hours long, I would have trimmed maybe a couple things out of the movie. I would have said, maybe cut this scene out. Maybe that feels like a repetitive beat. Maybe cut that moment out of the movie. You know what I mean? There's definitely moments that could have been cut down a bit to make the movie a bit shorter, because it does feel like we get those repetitive beats. It does feel maybe like it drags a bit in moments. I also felt that Tom Hardy's narration in the movie, or not narration, I'm sorry, his, there were some moments where I couldn't understand what he was saying, and I have that problem with Tom Hardy movies. I don't know if it was just me, maybe you guys understood him better. I don't know if it was me, the theater, the sound of the actual movie, or Tom Hardy himself. One of those four problems. I don't know what it was, but I'm assuming that, it was Tom Hardy himself, that he does, like, you know, the way he talks sometimes, maybe with his accent or something, maybe he mumbles his words sometimes. He did that in The Dark Knight Rises. It took me 2 times to watch that movie and finally understand every single word that he meant and said. Same thing with Mad Max Fury Road. There were a few times he grunted and I just didn't understand what he said. It's kind of same story with The Revenant. First half of this movie, he says something to a few other characters. I didn't all that get it. And then one other problem, the side plot of the rival groups, I would have added more to them. I felt they needed more of a presence in the movie. Other than that, I loved every single other thing about this movie. Let's start off with the obvious, the cinematography by Emmanuel Lubezki. Guys, this is one of the most gorgeous looking movies I've probably ever seen in my life, okay? Oh my goodness. Emmanuel Lubezki's going to win again, okay? He's going to three-peat it, guys. Get ready for it, alright? He's going to three-peat, and he absolutely deserves a three-peat for the Oscar for Best Cinematography. This is a gorgeous looking movie. These shots are beautifully handheld. The movements are fluid, smooth, and perfect, in my opinion. Okay? These wide-angle shots look so gorgeous. The depth of field is so wide. I love it. Okay? Everything that's included in the frame, the cinematography is just mind-boggling, in my opinion, guys. I also love how director Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, who just worked on Birdman, was able to take his trademark long takes from working on Birdman and bring them over to The Revenant, because we get a couple of awesome long take sequences in this movie that just left my mouth on the floor. I could not believe the attack sequence, okay, that's what I'm going to call it, is shot in one long take, did not cut to another shot. I was blown away. Holy crap, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu knows how to properly block his actors. and just stage everything and keep everything looking perfectly in the frame for long take shots. I don't know how the man does it, but he does it. And again, I would not be disappointed if he not only got nominated for Best Director, but if he even took it home again for the second time, for a second year in a row, I would not be disappointed. Emmanuel Lubezki better win, okay? Just period, okay? Just, if he doesn't win, then just, I'm done, okay? No, seriously, the movie looks gorgeous, guys. My mouth was just gaping. So many shots, just looking back on them, they're so memorable in my brain. I'm just looking at them as I'm speaking right now, and I'm still blown away by all of it. Performance-wise, Leonardo DiCaprio. Why did I say that intro earlier about Oscars, okay? Because I think it's time, guys. I think it's his time. Oh boy, do I think it's his time. Leonardo DiCaprio gives one of the best performances I've seen from an actor all year. And here's what I love about his performance in this movie. Not only does it not have much dialogue, and when DiCaprio does have a lot of dialogue in this movie, he's speaking another language, which amazed me. It didn't even sound like him. And that's what I loved about him so much in this movie. DiCaprio is highly unrecognizable, okay? Just like we had Jake Gyllenhaal last year. Jake Gyllenhaal was not Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. He was Louis Bloom. I saw Louis Bloom. In this movie, I do not see Leonardo DiCaprio. I see Hugh Glass, and I'm standing by that. Leonardo DiCaprio, I got lost into his role. He brought the ferocity. I felt just that urge to just attain vengeance and retribution. This is a man who's lost everything. He has to now combat the wilderness. He is just hiding in animal carcasses and just rubbing around in the dirt. He looks so grimy. This man, this actor, has gone through so much physically and even mentally to get into this role. He needs to sell this performance on facial reactions and body language and all of that, and he sells it beautifully in my opinion. Leonardo DiCaprio is brilliant in this movie. He shined in every single scene he was in. This is one of his best performances to date because of everything that was physically demanded of him. He blew me away. Tom Hardy, apart from those groans and those times where I can't understand a word he's saying, is also very good. I loved the conflict between the two men. It was brilliant in my opinion. I was biting my fingers. I was biting my fingers like this, rocking around in my chair in the final 10 minutes of this movie. I could not wait to see how things would conclude. Just getting into a few other things I love. The CGI is unbelievably freaking holy shit. The CGI is so good in this movie. It all just looked great. That's all I'm going to say, okay? The pacing is good, apart from the fact I would have cut a few things from the movie just to make it a little shorter, just to make it flow a little bit faster. The score is excellent, in my opinion. The costumes are magnificent. The shooting locations, I also forgot to mention this with the cinematography, very close to no lighting was involved in this movie. They used natural light, okay, to light all the scenes in forests or in huts. Okay, everything was natural light, alright? That is just freaking amazing. But the production design was amazing. The shooting locations looked gorgeous because they were shot so beautifully. Thanks, Lubezki. The whole ensemble cast was excellent. The script was great. It's that classic tale of revenge and retribution mixed into this old century Western-like revenge story that has some incredibly fascinating sequences with amazing, just amazing everything. Okay? Action, camera work, stunt work. Didn't even notice stunt work, okay? It looked like the actors were doing it themselves. Performances, everything worked brilliantly in The Revenant. Guys, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I am going to give The Revenant a very good grade. It's definitely going to be on my top 10. I'm going to give this film a solid grade of a 9 out of 10 or an A-. I love this movie. Apart from those flaws I mentioned, I really highly recommend you check this out when it comes to a theater near you. Guys, It is an experience of a movie. It's exhilarating. It gets your blood pumping. It's adrenaline inducing. Go see this movie when it comes to the review. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. I'm sorry I got to cut this short. It's got to be under 15 minutes. Stay tuned. Watch my Hateful Eight movie review, and I got a couple other movie reviews coming up this week as well. And then stay tuned for my top 10 movies of the best movies of the year. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.